Today, we're diving into something that's been on a lot of our minds. Why moving to a retirement home could be your worst decision ever. I know that sounds like a big statement, but hear me out. As we get older, a lot of us start thinking about retirement homes. Maybe your kids are worried about you living alone, or you've heard it's a safe thing to do. But what if that choice takes away the things that make you, your freedom, your home, the little joys that light up your day? I'm not here to scare you, I promise. I just want to share some real stories from folks who've been there, tossing a bit of wisdom, and show you there's another way to live, vibrantly, independently, on your own terms. By the end of this, I've got a surprising idea that might just change how you think about your future. So stick with me, okay? And if you're ready to take charge of your golden years, give that like button a tap and subscribe to Silver Sharp with the bell icon so we can keep these conversations going. Let's get started. Let's begin with someone I'll call Ellen, a 70-year-old retired nurse from Ohio. Ellen was the kind of person who made everyone smile. She had this little garden where she grew the juiciest tomatoes, a book club with her best friends, and every Sunday she'd bake chocolate chip cookies for her grandkids. But as she got older, her kids started to worry. "Mom, what if you fall?" they said. "A retirement home will take care of everything, meals, nurses, people to keep you company." It sounded pretty good, right? So Ellen packed up and moved into a retirement home. At first, it seemed okay. The staff were nice. The place was clean. But a few months in, Ellen started feeling trapped. She missed her garden, those tomatoes she'd loved tending. She missed picking out what to cook for dinner. The retirement home had a strict schedule. Breakfast at 7, activities at 10, lights out by 9. Her book club was too far away, and her grandkids couldn't just swing by anymore. She told me, "It's like a fancy prison. I'm safe, but I don't feel like me anymore." Ellen's story hit me hard because it's not just her. A study from AARP in 2023 said nearly 80% of people over 50 want to stay in their own homes or communities as they age. And it makes sense. Our homes aren't just walls and a roof. They're where we've laughed, cried, built our lives. Retirement homes promise care, but sometimes they take away something bigger, your independence. Now, I'm not saying they're bad for everyone. For some folks, they're a godsend. But for a lot of us, they can feel like letting go of everything we've worked for. Have you ever thought about what it'd be like to move to a retirement home? Maybe you've talked it over with family. What's been on your mind? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Let's talk about another side of this. The cost. And I don't just mean money, though that's a big part. Meet Tom, a 68-year-old retired mechanic from Manchester, England. Tom was a hands-on guy, always out in his garage fixing up old cars. After his wife passed, his kids worried he was lonely. They found a retirement home that looked amazing, modern, with a gym and a fancy dining hall. Tom thought, maybe this is easier. No more cooking or cleaning. But then the bills started coming. The monthly fee was thousands of pounds, and that didn't even cover things like doctor visits or medications. In the U.S., a private room in a nursing home can cost over $100,000 a year. That's from a 2024 report by Genworth Financial. For most of us, that's more than our retirement savings. Tom figured out he could have hired someone to help at home for way less. But the real cost wasn't the money. It was his spirit. Tom missed his garage, the smell of engine oil, the feel of tools in his hands. The retirement home had activities, bingo, sing-alongs, but they weren't him. He said, "I went from building cars to playing cards with people I barely know. I felt like I was fading away." Loneliness is a big deal as we get older. A 2022 study from the National Institute on Aging said feeling isolated can lead to depression and even shorten your life. Retirement homes promise you'll be surrounded by people, but if you don't click with them, you can feel more alone than ever. What's something you love doing that makes you feel alive? Maybe it's gardening, cooking, or just sitting on your porch with a book. Could you imagine giving that up? That's what we're talking about here, holding on to the things that make you you. Let's get a bit more personal with another story. There's Margaret, a 74-year-old from California. Margaret was an artist. Her house was full of paintings, sunsets, flowers, you name it. When her arthritis got bad, her doctor said a retirement home would give her better care. Margaret trusted that advice and moved, but it broke her heart. The retirement home didn't have room for her easel, and no one encouraged her paint. She felt like her whole identity as an artist was gone. And then her family visits started to drop off. Her kids were busy, and the home was a long drive. Margaret told me, "I thought I was doing this for them, but now I feel like they've forgotten me." That's the emotional side we don't talk about enough. Leaving your home can feel like losing a piece of yourself. A 2021 study in the gerontologist said many seniors go through grief when they move, like losing a loved one. It's heavy, right? I've got one more quick story. My friend's dad, Robert, moved to a retirement home to ease his family's worries. But he missed his morning walks, waving to the same neighbors he'd known for years. He said, "Those little things kept me going, and I didn't realize it until they were gone." If you've ever made a big life change, good or bad, what was it like? Share it in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Okay, so if retirement homes aren't always the answer, what is? Here's the good news. You got options, ways to stay safe and happy without giving up the life you love. Let's talk about a few. First, there's in-home care. This is when you hire someone to help with things like cooking, cleaning, or medical stuff, but you stay in your own home. It's often way cheaper than a retirement home. In the U.S., part-time in-home care costs about $30,000 a year on average, less than a third of a nursing home. And you get to keep your routines, your cozy couch, your morning coffee just the way you like it. Then there are active adult communities. These are neighborhoods for people over 55. You have your own home or apartment, but there's stuff like social clubs, fitness classes, or shuttles to the store. It's like a retirement home without the rules. You can still have your friends over or attend your garden, but you've got people around if you need them. Technology is a game changer too. Things like emergency alert bracelets, smart home sensors, or video calls with family can keep you safe and connected. I know someone who uses a smart speaker to remind her to take her pills and call her kids. It's simple but works like a charm. And don't sleep on family and community. Maybe you invite a friend or family member to live with you, or you join a local senior group. Even a weekly coffee date with friends can make a big difference. Let me tell you about Susan, a 75-year-old from Texas. Susan could have moved to a retirement home, but instead, she turned her house into what she calls her retirement hub. She's got a part-time caregiver who helps with chores, a medical alert system for peace of mind, and she hosts game nights with her friends every week. She even started painting again, something she thought she'd given up years ago. Susan says, "I'm living my way and I'm happier than ever." The key is figuring out what works for you. Maybe it's a bit of in-home care and some tech, or maybe it's an active adult community where you can keep your independence. You don't have to give up what you love to feel secure. What's one thing you want to keep doing as you get older? Maybe it's a hobby or just staying in your home. Share in the comments. It might give someone else a great idea. All right, let's bring this home. Moving to a retirement home might seem like the safe choice, but as we've heard from Ellen, Tom, Margaret, and others, it can cost you your freedom, your money, and even your joy. Your home, your routines, the things that make you you, those are worth holding on to. The beautiful thing is, you don't have to let them go to stay healthy and safe. Whether it's in-home care, an active adult community, smart technology, or leaning on the people you love, there's a way to live your golden years exactly the way you want. So, take a second to think. What's one thing you'd never want to give up? Maybe it's your garden, your hobbies, or just the feeling of walking through your own front door. Hold on to that, and find the options that let you keep it. I'd love to hear from you. What's your plan for aging well? Maybe you've got a story or an idea to share. Drop in the comments below. Your wisdom could inspire someone watching right now. And if this video hit home for you, please tap that like button and subscribe to Silver Sharp with the bell icon so we can keep sharing ideas for living your best life. Next week, we're talking about how to make your home the perfect spot for your golden years. So don't miss it. Until then, keep living with joy, keep shining, and remember, your golden years are yours to make amazing. I'll see you soon.